Hi, I'm Steffi Evans. Welcome to my channel. Today we're doing a short 20-minute Vinyasa flow. This is an intermediate flow. I'm using 0 props. In this class, we're really going to we're going to move. I'm assuming that you know the basics of yoga. This is going to be intermediate. Start on your mat in child's pose. Wide knees, feet together. Extend your arms out nice and long, stretching through your fingertips. Surrender your forehead to the mat. And come into your body with 3 deep diaphragmatic breaths. Right away, tapping into that Ujjayi breathing, in through the nose, out through the nose. One more deep breath into your back. And big exhale. Come onto your hands and knees. Spread your fingers, gripping the mat with your fingers, maybe even lifting the palms of your hands. Drop your belly and look forward. Big inhale. Exhale, round your spine into cat. Head drops. We'll do that twice more. Inhale is your back bend. And exhale. Round it out once more. Find a flat back. Hands are directly underneath the shoulders. Push into the mat, feeling your shoulder blades spread apart. Straighten out your right arm in front of you. Thumb side up. Keep your chest square to the mat. We're just warming up the abs. Return that right hand to the mat. Other side, left arm extends. And come back down to the mat. We'll add the opposite leg. Right arm goes forward, left leg extends back. You do not have to lift very high, but definitely rotate your pelvis towards the floor. Stay for one more deep breath. And come on down, changing to the other side. Left arm extends forward, right leg extends back. All 5 toes are facing the floor. Take any curve out of your lower back by gathering the abs in. Adding a little core work to start here today. And return to all fours. Tuck your toes. Spread your fingers. Keep those knees very bent for our first downward facing dog. Knees are bent. The stretch here is intended to be through the spine. So lengthen from your fingers all the way to your tailbone. Throughout our class today, anytime you need to come back to your knees for child's pose, take that for yourself. One more breath. Breathe some space into your spine. Take little steps, feet to your hands, widen your feet wider than your hips, and allow your torso to drop into a ragdoll. A generous bend in your knees. Option here to grab your elbows, add a small sway side to side. Release your arms if you have the bind. Bend your knees. Slowly roll your spine up to standing. Head is the last to come up. Step to the front of your mat. You can have your feet together. I'll have my feet a little bit wider because my hamstrings are tight. Mountain pose, chest is tall. Spread your fingers. We're ready to flow. Inhale your arms overhead. Exhale, bent knees as we fold. Hands on your shins or the floor. Press up into a flat back. And dive it over a little bit deeper, ragdoll. Plant your hands, step back into our first plank. Right here, tap into your breathing. Lower your knees, lower all the way onto your belly. This is Sphinx pose. Elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. Lift your heart. Small back bend here. We're going to add a twist here. So take your left hand and just cross it in front of you. The right hand comes to your hip and add a small rotation. Keep both hip bones on the ground. Good job. Other side. So right hand just comes in front of you as like a cross. Left hand is at your hip. And really grow your torso long as you turn. Come back to the center. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders so that your elbow tips point backwards. Feet stay on the floor for now. We'll take 3 baby cobra, lifting your heart and lower back down. This time, big inhale as you lift and exhale to lower. One more. Back bends get your heart rate up. They build heat. And that's what we're after. Tuck your toes. Use the strength of your upper body to press back into your downward facing dog. Take a moment to pedal out the feet. Let both heels sink a little closer to the floor. Really roll your shoulders away from your ears. Sometimes I say armpits go downward. Step or hop, feet to hands, ragdoll. From here on out, we will reverse the swan to come to standing. Bend your knees, lift your head, and take your spine up nice and straight. Hands touch overhead. Bring your hands to heart center. Palms by your sides, mountain pose. We'll flow a little faster through one more sun A. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it over. Inhale, flat back. Exhale takes you to plank. Lower your knees. Give me a baby bend at the elbows. It's very small. Elbows point straight backwards. This is your chaturanga. Lift your heart. If you're ready to lift your knees as well, you can be on the tops of your feet. Tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Stay for an inhale. And stay for your exhale. Let it go. Step or hop, feet to hands. Here's that reverse swan dive. It's like you're passing through chair. Bring your hands to heart center and mountain pose. One more time here. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale takes you through plank and chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. That is your vinyasa flow. Feel free to leave that little flow out anytime you like and meet us in down dog. Step or hop, feet to hands. Fold it over. Bend your knees. Let's reverse all the way up to standing. And bring your hands to heart center. Very good. Get your feet slightly wider than your hips. Arms reach up. This time we have a little seat into our first chair. It does not have to be super deep. You do not need to lean over. Keep your chest lifted and sit back into your heels. Modification, arms can be forward. If they're up, zip up your belly with this posture. Stay for a couple more breaths, finding your depth. Challenge yourself. We're not here long. Big inhale. Exhale, fold it over. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank. To chaturanga, modify as you need. Upward facing. And downward facing dog. Reminder to grip the floor with your fingers. Walk your feet together. Lift your right leg. This is your three-legged dog. All 10 toes are facing downward. Shift forward into plank. Pull your knee to your nose and step your foot through your hands. Runner's lunge. Lower your back knee. Here's your low lunge right here. Lift your heart. Sink deeper into that front knee. Beautiful. Bring your hands down to frame your foot. Straighten your front knee. Here's your half split. Keep your chest lifted, lengthening your spine. You should get a really nice hamstring stretch. Bend your front knee, coming back into your runner's lunge. Step your back foot at a 45-degree angle. Your stance is wide like railroad tracks. Rise up. Here's your warrior one. We'll pause here for a moment. Hinge forward just slightly. That's going to help you pull the right hip back and get your hips into a better alignment. Excellent. One more big inhale. Exhale, frame your foot. Step back into your plank. Optional flow. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Beautiful. Other side. Left leg lifts. The strength of your glute and hamstring, lift that back thigh. Knee to nose. Step it through. Here's your runner's lunge. Tap your back knee down. Low lunge. You want to be on the front of your kneecap instead of right on top of it. Arms are strongly reaching up. Shoulders are settled down your back. Frame your foot, half split. We never want to force the hamstrings into a shape that they're not ready for. Be gentle. You'll feel sensation, but never pain. Bend your front knee. Runner's lunge. Your back foot takes a little step forward into a 45-degree angle. So your toes are aiming at an angle slightly forward. Rise up. Warrior one. Do your best to square the hips to the front of your mat. If this posture is not completely obvious to you today, this one takes a little training. Just come back. I'll have another class for you. One more big inhale. Exhale. Frame your foot. Step it back. Take your flow. Downward facing dog. If you'd like to try the hop, really bend your knees and lift your hips as you jump forward, forward fold. Reverse swan all the way up to standing. This time, we're sitting right back into our chair. Second time around, you might sit a little deeper. We're adding on here. Big inhale. Exhale, fold it over. Inhale, flat back. Exhale takes you all the way through the bent elbows. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers, save your wrists. Lift your right leg, three-legged dog. Knee to nose just for a moment. Step it through. This time we're rising into a high lunge. If balance is an issue, separate your feet. Not a tightrope, we're train tracks. And I hate to do it, but I'll be facing away from you just for a moment. Let's open it up into our warrior two. Now the feet are on a tightrope. You're looking for heel to heel or heel to arch alignment. Bend that front knee. Your torso stays completely vertical, right in the center. Look down at that front knee. Make sure you open it. We don't want the knee to cave in. Hinge it forward. Reverse your warrior. Strongly reach up to open up that right side. Passing back through our warrior two, straighten your front knee. I'm going to shorten my stance just a touch. Hinge it forward. We want to take the sit bone and pull it towards the back foot. And wherever the arms land, that's as deep as you need to go. This is your triangle. You can look straight ahead or upwards. Deep breaths, feeling the core strength needed for this posture. Bend your front knee. Pass again through your warrior two. Cartwheel your arms. Step it back. Take your flow. You're always invited to skip it and meet us right here in downward facing dog. Take a moment to gather your breath. Other side, here we go. Left leg lifts. Knee to nose, pausing for the core strength. Step it through. Rise up, high lunge. It's totally fine to have a little bend in that back knee. We want the tail to point slightly towards the floor. Open it up. Warrior two, nice wide stance. Gaze is out past the front fingertips. This time, bring your awareness to your back leg. You need your knee and your foot rotated in. That might ask of you to turn your hips a little bit more towards the short edge of your mat. Press your shoulders away from your ears and breathe. Reverse your warrior. Really go up much more than you go backwards. Pass one more time through warrior two. Straighten your front knee, slightly shorten your stance. Hinge it forward, bumping your hips back as much as you can. Reach, reach. And here we are in our triangle. No cookie for touching the floor here. No prize. If you can touch the floor, that's great. Just don't bend over to do it. This is partially a twist here, so to protect your spine, really gather in your abs nice and tight. Bend that front knee, warrior two. This is your last opportunity to take a flow, step it back. Chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing dog. Feet together, right leg lifts. This time bend your knee and stack your hips. So try to kick your seat and push your knee upward towards the sky. And we're going to take this all the way into our pigeon. So right knee lands outside of the right wrist. Notice there's some space between me and the floor. That is perfectly fine. As you're ready, come down onto your elbows. And you may even come down onto your stacked hands. It's an option, not a requirement. Couple more deep breaths here. Use your hands to walk yourself back up. Now we're going to use one more bit of strength here to come out of this posture. Tuck your toes, plant your hands, come back into your downward facing dog, and we'll do the other side, left leg lifts. Bend your knees, stack your hips. That standing heel may sink a little closer to the floor. Take your left knee outside of your left hand, pigeon on the other side. I'm taking a moment to work my back bend to get a nice stretch in my hip flexor. And then as you're ready, come down onto your elbows and you'll feel a bigger stretch on that left hip or glute. Slow down your breathing. One more deep breath here. Use your hands to walk yourself back up. We're just going to have a seat onto that left hip and swing the right leg around. Plant your feet out in front of you. Your hands are going to go behind you for a reverse bridge. You can have your fingertips pointing your hips or facing the other way, whatever works better for your body. Lift your hips. Should be a pretty big stretch on the shoulders. If it feels great for you to drop your head backwards, you certainly can, not required. Bring your hips back down. Straighten your legs out in front of you, about hip distance apart. Lift your arms up, get as much height as you can here. Hinge it forward. And let your arms fall. Let your head drop. Soften here. We can allow the spine to round. Allow your head to hang, stretching your back body. Sometimes less is more. Take one more deep breath. Use your hands to walk yourself back up. That concludes our practice today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe and like and share. Thank you.